to Redefine Your Worthiness with Caurel Richards. Get ready to step into your power to unleash your true potential. Caurel is a rapid transformational practitioner specializing in childhood trauma. While also being a mental health advocate, Caurel has embraced her own personal struggles to transform herself, to turn her pain into her greatest gift. Her mission is to provide the ultimate safe space to understand and support your most vulnerable moments. Get ready for real and raw conversations that will inspire, empower, and encourage full self-expression and self-acceptance. Redefine Your Worthiness with Caurel Richards starts now. Welcome back, everybody. This is episode number 3, and I am your host, Caurel, and today we'll be talking about therapy. And of course, the guest that I have with me today, she has her own modality, which differs from the modality that I specialize in. But I think it's always interesting to experience different modalities just to see what works for you. And today's conversation will be based on that. So before I go any further, let me first allow her to introduce herself. Her name is Agne. I'm sure you can see her information below us, but allow her at this point just to give you a bit of information about her and, tell us a little bit about you, Agne.
Thank you so much for this opportunity and conversation. My name is Agne, and I am a quantum healing practitioner. So I guide people through their quantum transformation. A slightly different modality than RTT, still based on neuro-linguistic programming though. But a lot of energy work is included in that process. And as well, quite a bit of therapy focus, and as well, how to set your system up for success to really create that shift in your life.
Yeah, we had an interesting way of meeting. We met on Facebook, right?
Right.
Recently, I had this epiphany to start using my Facebook a little bit more. And when she connected with me, I think we connected through the conversation of RTT, which is rapid transformational therapy, which is the modality that I use. And she was sharing her interest, or the fact that she had some interest in signing up with Marissa Peer to do RTT. Right. And it was just so funny how we connected, and here we are having this conversation. So I know you didn't get a chance to practice RTT, but you have an idea of what it is. Could you tell us what you particularly do with quantum healing, how it compares to RTT, what makes it different? Just tell us a little bit about that.
Right. So RTT was like big step in my journey that created the shift. And at the time I was looking for a change in my career. I wanted to, do something that is really significant, helping people find themselves. Back then I was still searching for myself. Who am I really? That was the burning question for me. And because I had that idea of becoming a trained practitioner in RTT, I thought I really need to experience it first, right? So I went for the session, and it really changed so much for me. I didn't go with specific intention. I wasn't sure why, what will I experience, but things changed and shifted for me immediately, as if a new world opened up, for me. I say that RTT was the trigger for my spiritual awakening. And from that point, things evolved so fast. And my intention really through those experiences was to help other people to experience that spiritual awakening. And I knew that many people don't really know their problem. Like, RTT is more like you need to be specific what issue you have.
Yeah.
And then it's easy to find the root issue and pull it out, right? I didn't know my problem. like I knew I'm stuck. I knew that I'm not liking my life. I didn't know why or where to find that solution.
I mean, that's very similar to most people's struggle, is that they're stuck and they're not sure why, because they think they're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing when they're doing exactly probably the opposite of what they, from a soul level are supposed to be doing. And I think that brings up a very important question for you. It's, what were some of those things that you were struggling with, in terms of, you said you were, in a career that you just didn't feel like you were connected to your purpose. How did you know you weren't connected to that?
So, I mean, that feeling that I am here on earth to do something big was present, but at the same time, I didn't know what my purpose is. Like, I didn't know what's that big thing.
Do we ever know?
I mean, I believed that I need to know,
Yeah, right.
And that was driving me crazy for a while.
Yeah.
Actually, many years I was searching for myself through self-help, book courses, different modalities and processes, and it didn't really work for me until that big shift. Until I realized that really my purpose is, to be in alignment with my soul and to live from within. To understand who I really am and live my life from that space. Because I have been living my life, based on other people's standards and expectations.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, and that resonates with me too, because I remember even before doing RTT, I, like you, knew there was something else I was supposed to be doing. And as much as I was kind of sort of there, I was afraid essentially of my own power. I don't know if anybody can resonate with that. It was just like, you know what you're supposed to be doing, but you're a little bit scared. And I think in finding RTT, it gives you permission, one, and it also gives you this level of understanding, because that's the one thing that I say to most of my clients, and what was said to me is understanding is power. Because we went through so many of these things in our past, and we're questioning, why me? Why did it happen to me? And it keeps you in this victim mode, not realizing that experience that you've been given essentially is a gift. And it's just that you kind of have to pull it apart to find what that gift really is. And it takes time, and it is painful. But I want to know, for you, what type of modalities did you use before getting to, say, RTT or quantum healing? What did you use before that?
So not so many as modalities. I tried EFT tapping. I felt it was somewhat effective in the moment. But
what is that again, if you don't mind sharing with me?
EFT tapping.
So
it's like tapping on the acupuncture points while you're saying special phrases, and that kind of triggers the emotional response and helps you clear those blockages. That's the intention. So like physical sensation triggers certain emotional response in that structure. I wasn't trained in that. I was just like following a few practices there. It helps to calm your system down in the moment, which is useful.
Okay, so you said EFT tapping, and then?
And then, just different ways of analyzing my experience. Not so much into modalities, but I was trying to understand what's wrong with me, to fix myself.
Great. What's wrong with me?
Until I realized there is nothing wrong. I'm just having my own experience, and I needed to embrace that and accept it.
Exactly. And that brings up a very key point that I've recognized, and I've heard it so many times in the last couple of months. It's not, in fact, it's from Gabor Mate. It's not what happened. It's not what's wrong with me. It's what happened to me. And I start asking myself in those moments that I'm feeling like I'm stuck, or, I'm reacting or responding in a way that is unexplainable. I'm like, okay, what happened for me to, respond this way? And then you start asking yourself some really deep questions. And that's where you kind of go down the rabbit hole, but you don't go too far. Because then you lose reality sometimes. Well, how did you know to choose, or how did RTT come into your life, or how did even quantum healing come into your life?
I'm not sure how RTT came. Like, I was, exploring and looking for the information around.
Yeah.
So that was available. It was promoted in many spaces.
Yeah.
Quantum healing, though, was a whole another story. During my spiritual awakening experiences, I was holding that intention that I want to find a tool that will really help people experience the awakening.
Yeah.
And just a line of beautiful synchronicities led me to meet the founder of quantum healing, Dick Harbers, who then became my mentor and trained me in this modality.
Yeah.
And he just recently came into online space because of COVID. So in my case, thank God for COVID.
Yeah, right?
that I had this opportunity to learn from him. And just last year, he passed away and left me with all the knowledge and skill of this process. So now it became my mission to bring it to the world.
Wonderful. And how has that mission been for you so far?
It's not an easy one, right?
What makes it not so easy?
it has its challenges. Of course, everything goes back to ourselves and our way of being and ability to present things and so on.
Yeah.
But really, the people that I'm working with, they're experiencing good results, intense shifts, and I'm really pleased with that and happy that I have the tool to guide others.
So while you're talking, I'm just trying to imagine I know what an RTT session looks like. I know that it's for 2 hours or more, but I'm trying to figure or envision what a quantum healing looks like. So I don't know, you clearly can't put me through it right now, but what would that look like for anybody that's listening and might just be interested in, divulging or involving themselves in that? How would that look for them?
So generally, quantum healing as a process is not a hypnosis. It is meditation, guided meditation process.
Okay.
But language patterns are very important. And in that process, you become aware, you become conscious of your subconscious triggers or beliefs, things that are stored in subconscious mind. In connection to your being, your superconscious. So I'm bringing up the 3 aspects of you and creating that communication between them for you to really experience your internal world. It's I have a specific structure of 5 sessions, 5 steps, and each of them are very different from each other. But we address like your resourceful states, like activating your intuition, for example, your trust resource, your forgiver resource, this deep energetic, it's hard to describe what that is. It's just like part of you or ability to do certain things. Then we work on the rewiring the brain. This is a very science-based process, also like in connection to your eye movement. Then we work with timelines, clearing your past memories in your body, out of your body into the timelines. So energetic work, also a lot of release happens. And then working on energy centers or chakras, clearing those for you to then experience your deepest connection to your higher self, so to speak. So,
and how long would one session would you say? You said there's a series of 5. How long is one session?
So about 1.5 hours working one-on-one. I do group sessions. It can take up to 2 hours then.
Oh, so it's not one-on-one, it's mainly groups?
It can be both.
Yeah. Interesting. So say I happen to do those sessions or one group session, how long would it typically take for me to see results? Because we live in this instant gratification world, and a lot of people, they've been going through these things for a very, very long time, and they're looking for their healing process to essentially be just done in a day. which let me tell you is not possible. Your life it took you plus how many years to go through, you know, the struggles that you've gone through. It's not going to just happen overnight, clearly, but just to give them an idea of even your experience or a recent client's experience, you know, what was she or he going through, and, you know, how long did it take for them to see a bit of change?
Right. So it varies because people have different experiences, even though they go through the same process.
Yeah, of course.
It depends of what they need and what issue they have, right? Some people have physical condition, others are just feeling stuck.
Yeah.
So a couple of examples, my client who wanted to improve her business and felt a little bit stuck and somehow, only after first session, activating her intuition changed so much. The next day she had she had a dream, and in that dream she received a message of how her business should be structured, the logo, how it would look, and so on. So all details came in the dream as a vision. That was like, you know, it doesn't happen for everybody. I can't say that this will be your experience, but some interesting results that people achieved. As well, I have like one client who was having a cancer, and after 5 sessions, we had one extra session specifically working on that.
Yeah.
And the parameters went from 211 to 30 in a week. So that big shift happened as well.
Wow. So I guess what I'm hearing is that we have the power to heal ourselves, essentially. It's just we have to improve the relationship that we're having with ourselves. Because I think what a lot of people are thinking is someone is coming to save us. You know, the doctors, you know, these practitioners, we're not, and I speak as a practitioner myself, I'm not necessarily healing anybody. All I'm doing is sitting there facilitating them going through their mess, you know, extracting what they need to extract, and then rebuilding the relationship that essentially they weren't having with themselves. Because I think we were brought up in this world to depend on others, you know, not realizing that we already have all of these gifts, all of this information within us. So it's a struggle when that's what you're taught. And then when you get to a certain point in your life, you're like, well, this isn't working. Like, what am I doing wrong? you know? So I think it's very important for us to reconnect to ourselves and have a better relationship with ourselves, because in doing so, I think it essentially will expand to the outside world. And some of the things that we're struggling with, those diseases that we're going through, will no longer be existent, because I think those disease is really a way for our body to tell us that, hey, you're out of alignment.
Yes, it's a signal, correct. And being aware of yourself, of your thoughts, your emotions, and your, you know, the behavior that is being triggered by that, it's so powerful, because your body is a signaling mechanism. It just begs for your attention. And if you don't listen for the whispers, it will start shout. And that's how people get into disease and so on. But everything is just to really deal with your past traumas, unresolved emotions, and so on. All the solutions are there inside of you.
Exactly. And I want to talk to us practitioners, therapists, coaches, healers. I want to talk to us because I even recently joined a group, and I can recognize that, yes, we know that our purpose is here to help others, but we really also have to remember that in order to be effective at our jobs, we also have a couple of things that we need to release for ourselves. So I've been very intentional about my own healing thus far. And in being intentional so far, I've seen how more intuitive I am, and how powerful my sessions have been with my clients, and how the transformations have been taking place. I want to know, since I'm speaking to another practitioner, has that been your experience as well?
Definitely. I didn't like to call myself a healer, because that's kind of natural. People say that.
Right?
But when I changed the meaning for myself, because I am a healer, because I am here to heal myself, and only then I can hold the space for others, it changes everything.
Everything. And so I'm hoping that anyone that's listening to this, and don't take it that because we have these titles of an RTT practitioner or a quantum healer, that we are the only healers. There's so many. You yourself are probably a healer, right? I think we are all healers. Like she said, based on her definition, we all came here to heal ourselves, because in my mind, I'm like, why else are we here? You know, why else? So, because I remember I went on a shroom trip, and I remember walking actually outside my window. I was walking on the strip, and we were all wearing backpacks, and in the backpacks were our traumas. And I was like, okay. And the guidance that I received was, well, you got to deal with your backpack first before you can be able to help others with their backpack. And then I had this really weird visual of us walking around with like a TV box on our head as our heads, because that's how we were seeing the world, through our own perceptions, our own experiences. So when you said we are here to heal our own traumas, that immediately came to mind. So it makes total sense why we are even having this conversation right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I have been committed to my own healing, and it's very interesting phenomenon when I'm working on certain issues for myself, and at the same time the clients come with similar situations, right? Yeah, it's just like so interesting.
Yeah.
How we help each other, basically.
Exactly.
Because if those clients didn't come with the same problem, I probably wouldn't even have known that I need to work on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely relate to that. And I think it feels like my responsibility to say this in this moment, that a lot of the clients come in thinking that us as practitioners are perfect, that we know everything, that we don't make mistakes, that we never went through anything. I'm going to say that the reason that we are who we are today is because we went through these things, right? And we are actually now being intentional about working through the things that we've gone through, so that we can be able to support you guys even more. So I'm just glad that you're doing your healing as well. I'm doing my healing, whoever else is out there, because I know it's not easy. And I think it's very important as individuals to find what works for you. So we've spoken about RTT today. We've spoken about quantum healing. What did you ever go to traditional talk therapy? Because I know that's what most people, when they hear therapy, they think, oh, I sit in front of this practitioner or this therapist and I just let it rip. Did you have any experiences with traditional talk therapy?
No, I have not. But from what I hear from my clients specifically, who have gone through years of therapy, and they say that in one session, I could shift that experience completely. That 10 years of therapy was not able to do. So can't compare.
Yeah, we're definitely aligned, because I hear that often too. Yeah. And it always felt so interesting. That's the word I'm going to go with, that you've been experiencing this problem, probably when you're about 4. You're in your 30s now. So you've probably gone through 26 plus years of pain, to sit with someone to talk about that pain for another 10 years.
Scratching the wound.
I'm not knocking talk therapy. I'm just saying to whoever is listening, if that makes sense to you, go with it. If you've been sitting in therapy for 10 years and you're still where you were at the beginning or just halfway there, I don't know, question it. I know hypnotherapy, there are stigmas that come with hypnosis. Probably they've never heard about quantum healing. So they're like, what you don't know, you kind of want to resist. Right. But I'm telling you from personal experience, it's worth a shot, because I remember going into talk therapy and she basically told me, no, you're okay. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm clearly not okay. And I look at it, it's like day and night now, where I was when I walked into that office and where I am today, and the work that I've done in, I would say, less than 2018? 5 years. you know, it's like a brand new person. So I think give it a shot. Give it a shot. It's your own healing. So decide what you want to do and what works for you. And I know that you were mentioning earlier that there is an offer that you have for the listeners today. So feel free to share that before we get out of here. They're already telling me we have 2 minutes left. So yeah, go ahead and let us know
so
your offer.
I just wanted to invite everybody for mini experience of quantum healing. It would be 30 minutes call where we would get on Zoom and I would guide you through a short process for you to just have a sense of what quantum healing is, without any commitment, just, you know, that mini experience to test it out.
Can I come and test it out?
Definitely.
Okay, good. So what I'll do is I'll put the link in the show notes so you guys can look out for that in a couple of hours, I'll say. And then definitely book some time with her. Like I said, it's worth a shot. You are not necessarily making any payments right now. So if you test it out and you feel like it works for you, definitely go for that. And I'm grateful that you were able to have this conversation with me today. Hopefully you walked away with some very valuable information. And definitely connect with us in 2 weeks here at Talk Radio, Transformation Talk Radio, again with your host, Caurel Richards. And as I always say, I forgot to say it in my last episode, that just remember to be kind to yourself. If you're going to be kind to others, that's great, but always remember to be kind to yourself. And I will see you 2 weeks from now, Friday at 2 p.m. Central Time. Thank you for being here, Agne.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today on Redefine Your Worthiness with Caurel Richards. Join us here in our safe space for real and raw conversations. My mission is to support you at your most vulnerable moments. Together, we will redefine your worthiness to embrace your own path to personal growth. For more information about me, you can visit indivinetime.com. That is INDIVINETHYME.com.